The helicopter crashed 3 days ago. The rescue team found your body clutched around a water bottle filled with your own urine. The note beside you read, "Desperate times call for desperate measures." Except desperate times don't suspend the laws of chemistry. Your kidneys had already failed. Your brain had swollen beyond repair. You died believing you were saving yourself. This isn't fiction. This is what happens when survival myths meet reality. When panic makes poison look like medicine. When Hollywood physics collide with actual biology. Today, we're dissecting 10 survival myths that don't just embarrass you in front of your camping buddies. They erase you entirely. The problem with survival folklore isn't that it sounds wrong. It's that it sounds logical. When your world collapses and your options shrink, these myths whisper exactly what your terrified brain wants to hear. Simple solutions, instant fixes, ancient wisdom that supposedly kept our ancestors alive for millennia. But here's the brutal truth. Your ancestors didn't survive because of these myths. They survived despite them. The ones who believed the folklore became the cautionary tales no one bothered to write down. Let's start with the myth that kills faster than dehydration itself. You've heard it 1,000 times. When water runs out, drink your own urine. Recycle what you have. Your body made it, so your body can use it again. It's just common sense, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Literally dead wrong. Urine isn't water with a bad attitude. It's concentrated waste. Your kidneys spent considerable energy filtering out toxins, excess salts, and metabolic garbage your body couldn't use. That's the entire point of urination. Your body is taking out the trash. When you drink urine, you're forcing your already stressed kidneys to process that same waste again. Sodium levels spike. Your blood becomes a toxic soup. Your brain swells as cellular hydration collapses. You accelerate dehydration while poisoning yourself with extra steps. The only scenario where drinking urine makes survival sense is if you're already dead and trying to stay hydrated in the afterlife. Your body doesn't make mistakes when it comes to waste elimination. Don't drink its garbage. Moving on to myth number 2. The gasoline campfire disaster waiting to happen. You've seen it in movies. Pour accelerant on stubborn kindling and whoosh. Instant warmth and light. Problem solved. Except gasoline doesn't burn the way action heroes pretend it does. Gasoline vaporizes at room temperature. Those invisible vapors are what actually ignite, not the liquid itself. Pour gasoline on your campfire wood and you've just created a vapor cloud waiting for an excuse to detonate. One spark and you've got a flash fire traveling at 15 feet per second. That's faster than you can run. Definitely faster than you can think. Third-degree burns cover your hands and face in under 2 seconds. Your emergency campfire just became your funeral pyre. Fire needs 3 things in controlled ratios: oxygen, fuel, and heat. Gasoline gives you all 3 in the worst possible sequence. Chemistry doesn't care about your urgency or your cold fingers. Use proper kindling, birch bark, or char cloth. Build structure. Control airflow. Respect combustion, or it will teach you through nerve damage. Myth number 3 takes us into navigation nightmare territory. Everyone knows moss grows on the north side of trees. Nature's compass. Free directional guidance courtesy of plant biology. Follow the moss and find your way home. Moss grows where moisture lingers. In shade, behind wind barriers, along consistent water patterns. In dense forests, moss wraps entire tree trunks like green sleeves. In desert environments, it doesn't grow at all. Humidity dictates growth patterns, not magnetic north. You're looking for true direction, not botanical probability. Navigation by folklore gets you walking in circles until exposure finishes what confusion started. The sun rises east and sets west. That's physics. Moss chases moisture. If you're betting your position on plant growth patterns, you're already gambling with your life. Learn celestial navigation. The North Star sits above the rotational axis. Polaris doesn't move while constellations rotate around it. That's reliable. Moss is not. Botany isn't cartography. Buy a compass or memorize the stars. These aren't just mistakes, they're predictable failures with documented consequences. Each myth spreads because it sounds reasonable to panicked minds operating on adrenaline and wishful thinking. Myth number 4 will make you hungry for death. You stumble across a meadow where rabbits graze peacefully. Squirrels crack nuts overhead. Birds feast on berries hanging from every branch. Nature's buffet spread before you like a salvation menu. If animals eat it, you can eat it too. Simple survival logic. Your liver disagrees. Violently. Animals possess different metabolisms, gut bacteria, and enzyme pathways than humans. What nourishes them destroys you. Deer consume death cap mushrooms like candy. Those same mushrooms deliver enough amatoxin to shut down your liver with just 0.1 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. Your liver attempts to filter the toxin, fails spectacularly, and begins necrotizing within 12 hours. Vomiting starts first. Diarrhea follows. Organ failure cascades through your system like dominoes made of meat. Coma arrives as your kidneys surrender. Death completes the sequence, all because you trusted animal behavior as a dietary guide. Foraging without botanical knowledge is organ roulette with higher stakes than your life can cover. Memorize edible plants. Carry field identification guides. Learn the universal edibility test if desperation demands it. Small skin contact, wait 15 minutes. Lip contact, wait 15 minutes. Tongue contact, wait 15 minutes. The process takes hours because that's the price of not knowing what kills you. You're not a raccoon. Learn botany or pack more rations. Myth 5 brings us to the snake bite panic protocol. Fangs pierce skin, venom pumps into tissue. Movies taught you the solution. Suck out the poison, be the hero, save the day with your mouth. Venom enters your bloodstream within seconds of injection. Sucking accomplishes almost nothing except introducing bacteria into an open wound while wasting critical response time. Meanwhile, your elevated heart rate from sheer terror pumps that venom through your circulatory system like a biological express delivery service. Hemotoxins destroy blood cells. Neurotoxins paralyze respiratory muscles. Cytotoxins liquefy tissue on contact. Your mouth removes none of these compounds. Zero. The cure involves antivenom and immobilization, not amateur hour-mouth surgery. Keep the bite below heart level. Remove watches, rings, anything that constricts before swelling transforms your limb into a balloon. Stay calm to slow circulation. Mark swelling progression with a pen every 15 minutes so medical staff can track venom spread. Your mouth isn't a medical device. It's a contamination vector that complicates treatment. First aid isn't improvisation. Pressure, stillness, hospital, in that exact order. Moving to myth 6, the rabbit starvation trap that makes abundance feel like famine. You've trapped enough rabbits to feed an army. Meat is meat. Protein is protein. Your stomach feels full while your body slowly starves to death. Rabbit starvation kills through protein poisoning. Lean meat without fat content forces your liver to process more protein than biochemistry allows. Ammonia buildup turns toxic. Rabbits contain almost zero fat. You eat them, feel satisfied, and march steadily toward malnutrition despite consuming calories. Symptoms start subtle. Diarrhea, headaches, fatigue that sleep won't cure, blood pressure drops, vague discomfort spreads through your system like background radiation. Then death arrives to collect the debt your metabolism couldn't pay. Frontiersmen documented this phenomenon because they watched it happen repeatedly. You need fat for caloric density, vitamin absorption, and basic metabolic function. Pure lean protein becomes a slow execution method disguised as sustenance. Survival demands fat sources: nuts, seeds, fatty fish, marrow from larger game animals. Calories matter, but macronutrient balance matters more. Protein without fat is a death sentence with better marketing. These myths persist because fear short-circuits logic. When civilization crumbles, your brain defaults to stories instead of data. Stories feel true because memory makes them sticky. But thermodynamics doesn't compromise for comfort. Biology refuses to negotiate with optimism.ism. Knowledge weighs nothing. Ignorance weighs tons when it's crushing your chest in the final moments. 10 myths. 10 ways your brain will try to kill you when the lights go out and the cavalry isn't coming. Each one sounds reasonable until chemistry starts grading your decisions with permanent consequences. The difference between survivors and statistics isn't luck. It's the willingness to question comfortable lies before they become epitaphs. Preparation is pattern recognition applied before the crisis forces the exam. You study failure modes now so you don't discover them while dying. Your ancestors didn't survive because ancient wisdom was superior. They survived because the ones who believed the myths became the unmarked graves nobody talks about. The survivors were the skeptics, the ones who tested theories against reality and discarded what failed. The grid will fail. Supply chains will shatter. When that moment arrives, these myths will whisper their seductive promises into your terrified mind. Simple solutions for complex problems. Ancient wisdom for modern disasters. Your brain will want to believe them because believing feels better than uncertainty. Don't listen. Physics doesn't grade on effort. Chemistry doesn't offer extra credit for desperation. Biology punishes ignorance with the same efficiency it rewards preparation. You've got time now to separate myth from method. Use it. Study real survival skills. Test your knowledge. Build your competence. Be the one who knows, not the one who hoped folklore was enough, not the one who drank poison because panic made chemistry seem optional. Be the one who survives.